Looks as though the buses aren't running. They're running and they're just caught in gridlock traffic like everybody else. So I decided just to huff it. But I gotta get out of this area if I want to go anywhere. I have come to the new South China Mall in Dongguan, China. This place is made popular by a very famous YouTube video by Wade Shepherd, Vagabond Journey. He's great. He's traveled all over the world and his insight's pretty good. And ever since I saw that video, I've wanted to come to this mall. Not because I like to shop, but because this one is known as the Ghost Mall of China. Just being here for a few minutes, I can see why. Now, this mall in particular is the largest mall in the world, according to total lease area. The largest mall in the world is still the Mall Dubai, and then the largest building in the world is a new mall that they just opened up in Chengdu. One thing you have to understand is mall culture in China. It's a little bit different than back home in the States. Malls are not just retail. It's not just selling clothing and stuff like that. It's everything here. It's the restaurants and the clothing and the electronics, but it's also education. It's supermarkets, it's dentist offices, attorney offices, things like this. You will not find these things in malls back home. But here in China, they're everywhere. It's just a commerce center. Just getting here is hard. Dongguan is a giant city. It's about 8 million people. It's one of the largest cities in Guangdong. There's only one subway line so far, and the bus lines are kind of hit or miss. First, the location is terrible for a mall this size. This mall is away from the city center. It's nowhere near the city center. It's not even in the suburbs. It's just in this random area, and there's no transportation infrastructure here. I mean, you can take a small little green bus, or you can do what I did, which was just take DD. But that's still, unless you have a car, there's no easy way to get here. The mall was opened in 2005, so it's already about 13, almost 14 years old. It was a huge flop for the developer. They lost so much money. It was then taken over by a holding company that is part of Peking University. It was remodeled and then revamped as the new South China Mall. It was supposed to be this super high-end mall with an IMAX and a Shangri-La hotel, and none of that came to fruition. I'm just wandering through the mall now, and the design of it is very tight. There's not much to it. That's really cool. There's a culture and communications company. A lot of classrooms, a lot of secondary education, a lot of English education, math education, music education. Here's an artist studio where you can learn how to be an artist. The area that I'm in now is 4 stories, and the 4th story has the cheapest rents. So you're gonna find a lot of the businesses up here that don't get a lot of traffic. Here's a gym. Places like this that are kind of eerie. This is why I wanted to come, because there's places like this that will blow your mind. The escalators don't even work. Now I am completely lost here. I have no idea where I'm at. I'm just going for a walk, and I have not seen a map or a directory of any kind to tell me where to go. It just goes on and on and on. It's kind of ridiculous. Here's yet another gym. Countless numbers of early education and training centers. Supposedly this mall is divided into like 8 sections, depending on an area of the world or a country of the world, supposedly. I haven't seen anything to distinguish one section of a mall to another yet. But I'm entering into an area called Amazing World. That's what it's called, Amazing World. Oh, it's an indoor amusement park. Check this out, this is kind of cool. Now, this is not a mall that you're gonna find high-end retail. You're not gonna find H&M, Gap, or anything even of that nature. You'll find lots of toy stores, lots of baby clothes, and lots of things for the kids. So far, the highest end eatery I've seen is Pizza Hut. There's a couple hot pot restaurants. There's a floating sushi area over here, but kind of sad. Much of the mall is outdoors, so when it's a rainy day, it doesn't look good. Admittedly, this is a terrible day to visit this mall with it raining. It's a Sunday night. I expected more people to be here, but there really is almost nobody here. It is very much a ghost mall in many, many areas. Many years ago, I went to the Mall of America in Minneapolis, St. Paul, and it's one of the largest, I think it's the largest mall in America. And it's basically a converted football stadium, and there's a Camp Snoopy theme park in the center. And you've got stories of stores that go around the main area in the center. Now, that mall was interesting, but one thing I did notice was you walk on one side of the mall and you'll have a Gap Kids, a Baby Gap, and then you go to the other side of the mall and there's the exact same thing, a Gap, Baby Gap, Gap Kids. So they just basically repeat the same store throughout the mall. It's so big that you have 2 or 3 of the same store in different locations. Different Starbucks, there's different McDonald's. I don't see that here. There's no repeated business. And again, I am lost.